For the fans, by the fans. Welcome to the only Angels postgame show that keeps it real, win or lose. No filters, no fluff, just raw reactions right after the final out. The Golden Stamos is polished up and somebody's about to take it home. A clutch hit, a game-saving grab, or just straight up hustle. We see you. But if you played like trash, you're getting the dreaded Nacho Night Award. We saw the missed calls, we saw the blown saves, the clutch moments, and the disasters too. Your comments are front and center, and yeah, we read all of them. Wanna let loose? Call in and sound off live. No scripts, no suits, no spin. This is raw, this is real, this is where the fans take over. This is the Heedy Postgame Show with Todd Fox. For the fans, by the fans.
I'm a fox. My name's Todd.
Hey, welcome in from Brewheim. I am your host, Todd Fox, along with
Bill Perkins, Top Fan Rivalry.
Top Fan Rivalry in the house to get you over here on the camera.
There
you go. Coming to you live from Brewheim, drink specials, Halos in the infield.
You don't want me on camera. It's just gonna lessen. You look good. Yeah, go ahead.
It's the Halo honk as we were out there tonight passing out all kinds of gifts to the kiddos with thunder sticks, and then also, giving the stickers out there. This is a good vibe in the stadium tonight. Again, Christmas in June. Not a fan, but it brought a lot of people out there, and it's good to get back to 500, right?
Yeah. 41 and 41. So halfway through the season.
I mean, look, this is what, I know Bill's a Dodger fan, so don't hate on him for that. He's a good Dodger fan as far as, and I know those do exist, although we don't talk about that. They do exist. He's been pretty cool. He's a good guy. He covers, and on his page, he covers all the teams. So you'll see interviews from Phillies, from Pirates. I mean, he taps into every group, right?
We try to, and I think you said the Dodgers, but you didn't say their whole name. It's America's team,
Brooklyn Dodgers.
No.
But
to be here, man.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you coming on. Now he came over here to check things out here with us tonight, and then while we were honking it up at the stadium. And he's had a couple beers tonight here.
No, I don't drink. It's water, man.
Oh, it's water. Okay.
Yeah.
He's had some.
I'm not a drinker.
Okay, he's had some very clear, crystal clear water.
I even put ice in it tonight.
Oh, wow. Great. On the rock.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right.
We're going all in.
Yeah, so with the Brewheim post-game show here with Todd Fox and Bill from Top Fan. Yep. And this is a guy that's going to be setting up that the softball tournament, which we've been talking about.
Yes.
So
yeah, we're going to try to do it either August or September. I'll let you know.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of teams from what I heard because a lot of people are down on our side. So
yeah,
we may have to get two fields. So
or just have it for a little bit longer. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe a 5 to 9 thing.
Yeah, something like that. And then we head over across the street and get pizza again.
Oh yeah, that pizza is top notch. What was the name of that place?
It's sponsored by OC Local, but it's the pizza store.
Yeah, that was some bomb pizza over there.
Yeah, they got some good stuff.
We had that right after the game. So with that being said, we got to play one thing right away. And again, I'm not going to be because I'm doing it off the laptop. It's a little difficult. So we're going to play this right off the bat. And that's Stukas, baby. We won tonight. We'll get into all the box score, all the scoring right now. But first, we have to play it because in celebration, this is what we do, baby. So Stukas, baby, we win tonight 8-2 over the Washington Nationals, get back to 500. And the big inning tonight, and I think Bill was even mentioning when we pulled up, was the sixth inning.
Seventh inning.
Seventh inning, 8 runs, 9 hits for the Angels. Again, they scored 9 runs last night. The Angels are now 33-12 when scoring 4 or more. So that has been the key for us this year.
Yep.
Under 4 runs, Bill, we just don't pull the wins.
Well, listen, when you score 4 runs or better, you should win. You score 3 runs or better, you should win. But you never know, right? Pitching's pitching. You saw it tonight in the 7th inning. I was watching the game here in Brewheim. In the 7th inning, it just was an absolute ballpark disaster by Washington. And it's funny because I'm texting some people. I'm going, the Angels better have a shutdown inning. First guy gets on, I thought, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no. And then he's grounded into a double play. So it worked out fine.
Yeah, and you know what? That's the thing too, guys and gals. I mean, this team last night, if you were watching, if you were in the stands like we were, it was crazy. We were dying for some sort of shutdown inning. There was nothing last night.
Yeah.
So Hector Neris got DFA'd today. They brought in, what was his name? What was the other pitcher? The EQ. They brought up the pitcher today. The one you were talking about, the young kid.
He pitched an eighth or something like that. Right?
Yeah, the pitcher they brought in, the new guy. Remember? Fermin, yes. Fermin, they brought him back up. The young, I think he's Venezuelan or Dominican, but he's way better than Neris.
Yeah.
He's just really raw. You know, they just drafted him last year, so, or at least got him internationally.
Yeah.
But the Angels got the nice shutdown inning. We'll go through the scoring real quick before we get into all your comments tonight. We got to say though too, we're by the fans, for the fans, for the fans, by the fans. We're not like those other podcasts. We're in the stands. Bill's in the stands.
Yeah.
And not only is Bill in the stands, if you follow Top Fan Rivalry, which I adore you to do tonight and implore you to do, he goes to different stadiums all around the league. So it's not like, hey, Bill goes to Dodger Stadium because he's a Dodger fan. He goes to San Diego. He's been to Anaheim a bunch of times. Where else have you been?
Let's see. So in the last 10 days, we've been to Philadelphia, Citi Field twice, Boston, and Angel Stadium 3 times.
There you go.
Yeah.
So this guy lives, breathes, and eats baseball right now. So
something like that.
This is his spot to do it. So exactly. Let's go through the scoring real quick. Ohapi got it going in the early innings. The second inning, it was a first and third situation. He grounded into a double play. Adele would score. Again, Adele leadoff double in that inning. He's raised his average from 195 almost up to 240.
Yeah.
You're thinking that this is a guy that we're going to wind up keeping?
Yeah. I like it. I'm a little concerned. I might get a little bit of heat on this. I'm a little concerned at Ohapi's batting average right now. He's putting the ball in play. He's hitting the ball hard, but Adele was a big key in getting that run across there.
Absolutely, and I think that's what a lot of us are worried about because the way he's been catching lately, the pitchers haven't favored him. They're kind of favoring d'Arnaud. Mm-hmm. He hasn't thrown out anybody in a long time, whereas d'Arnaud's like thrown out 3 out of the last 5 stolen base guys.
Yep.
So that plays a big part in how you call a game too. So it's something to look at. But as far as Adele, he's ascending as what we wanted as Angel fans him to be and him to do. So he's starting to get there. Abrams, the young rookie for the Nationals, hit a solo blast off of Hendricks. And how was your opinion on Hendricks tonight as far as pitching, being the veteran?
I like Hendricks. I'm waiting for people to tee him up. I mean, his fastball topped out tonight at about 86. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's BP fastball stuff. But he was getting it done. He was using the corners, which was great. So I liked him. He did good. He did well tonight. It's just, again, with some teams, that may or may not work.
Yeah, it's true. And that curveball at times can be very hittable. So, he got away with a couple tonight. But, hey, he kept us in the game. That's all that matters. 7th inning, though, Adams would single. Lyle would score. And it was 2-1. And you're thinking, oh, crap, here we go. Playing down to our competition again.
Yep.
And this, if you want to win, if you want to get to that next level, Bill, I was looking at Jim's name right there.
I was going to say.
Yeah, you got to beat the bad team. And the Nats are a bad team, and you got to take it, beat the teams ahead of you. And this team, Bill, has lost 2 series to Baltimore, lost a series to the Marlins, and has also lost a series to the Pirates.
Yep.
So you take a few wins here and there, and this is we're above 500. We're talking second place. So are you right now, before we get into the rest of the scoring, I want to ask you a question. Watching from afar, outside Angel fan or outside the Angels scope of things, is this a team where you thought they would be at 500, and or do you think they can be better than that in a fringe wild card?
Early, and it's funny that you asked me that because early in the season, I was talking to some people and I said the Angels have the ability. I thought that, in all reality, I thought they won the offseason in the American League West.
Okay.
And I said, I think they can sneakily win the division if they did it right. I felt strong about Seattle, but Seattle always has their random meltdown. And don't at me, Seattle. You guys know what I'm talking about. I have family up there. Stop it if you guys are gonna talk about that. But anyways, Texas Rangers I knew weren't solid, and the Astros have gotten older and they've gotten rid of a bunch of their talents. So that being said, I thought the Angels could sneak in. Now I didn't expect them to be 500 at this point. I'm hoping that they turn that around a little bit.
Yeah, me too. I think all of us too, because we've seen this a couple of years ago where they were just routinely 500 and couldn't get any better. So, but then the bottom of the seventh scored or happened, Bill,
Yep.
as we were walking the stands. Oddly enough, Mike Trout would go deep with a solo shot, and that's much needed for him because people are, they associate Mike Trout with home runs, and recently since he's been back off the IL, he's been hitting the ball a lot better.
Mhm.
So his average has been raised, this, and that, but the power hasn't been there. So it was good to see him come through in a clutch situation, man, because he gets killed nightly on here by me and other people because it seems like he's always striking out to end a game or a rally.
So it's interesting. They showed a statistic on the TV, which he didn't see the game. That was his 391st home run.
Wow.
And I started doing some math on my phone during the commercial break and realized if you took a healthy Mike Trout, you took him out of the injury bug, he'd be close to 500 home runs by now. And you're talking first ballot Hall of Famer.
I would think I would dare to say that he, minus the COVID year, obviously, but those 3 seasons in between, had he not been hurt, or 4 seasons, you're talking about if he averaged 30 to 40 home runs, maybe between 150 and 160 on the home runs in those 4 seasons. You add that on right now, he's over 500. You're talking he could be approaching
700.
As a career, and he could finish like almost like Griffey did.
Yeah. So the thing about Trout, I absolutely love Trout, but the thing about Trout that's interesting is there are 2 other players. He's going to play longer than these guys, but there are 2 other players that had the injury bug not got them, they would have been first ballot Hall of Famers.
Mm-hmm.
That's David Wright. That's Dustin Pedroia.
Oh yeah.
Both of those guys, go and look at their numbers. They're both, I think, on the Hall of Fame ballot this season or this year. Neither of them are going to get enough votes to go to the next ballot. But if they weren't hurt, and Trout is going to make the Hall of Fame. I mean, he'll finish his career at 500 home runs.
Yeah.
And so he'll make the Hall of Fame. But he is such a special talent that it's just sad to watch him get hurt. So I was glad to see him make the home run.
Absolutely, because I've always said, we'll look at him like we looked at Griffey. Although Griffey finished strong to get to 6 something, man, he should be the all-time leader above Bonds.
Yeah.
And so it's a shame that didn't happen, but he got in. And you're right on Trout; he'll get in for sure.
He'll get in. He may not be first ballot. It depends on how well he finishes out. And he's had a series of bad luck. I mean, the guy was healthy and then slid in and hurt his thumb.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, come on. Those are just things that happen.
Absolutely. So it was 2-2, and then you had or Moore come through with a single, and Moore has just been on fire.
Okay. This guy's going to be good. This kid's going to be good.
Yeah, he's going to be. I mean, between him and Neto up the middle, oh my gosh, we're going to have a solid infield. Then Newman, of all people, bro. Newman comes up and hits a 3-run blast and really puts the icing on the cake, man. I mean, every time, if I was the visiting stadium or if they go into our stadium, a different stadium with Newman, if he did something good or did something bad, I'd be like, Newman, from Steinfeld.
That's exactly what I was thinking. When he hit the home run, I'm like, Newman.
But that guy hasn't come through like Angel fans thought he would. And so he's been a disappointment. So for him to come through tonight, okay, I'll take it. Especially with Neto not being. Yeah. And then Ward would walk with the bases loaded to make it 7-2. Then, of all people, too, another role player, another guy that you feel at some point will be a nice little bench piece, 4th outfielder possibly. Campero hits a solo blast, and they walk away with an 8-2. Whereas going into the 7th inning, you're like, crap, we're in another tight game. We might lose the series tonight. Yeah. But now you can go for the series win tomorrow.
Yeah, you can go for the series win tomorrow. So, going back to the Ward at bat for the walk.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, and I don't know where you were at in the stadium or if you were watching. I was watching on TV, obviously here. It was a very competitive at bat. He wasn't expanding the zone, which you guys do an awful lot.
Too much.
and so he wasn't expanding the zone. He basically went up, and I'm not gonna say he was looking for the walk, but he was basically telling the pitcher, unless you throw it down Broadway, I'm gonna wait until I get 2 strikes. I'm gonna let you come to me, and because all the pressure at that point is on the pitcher. I mean that extra run at that point, it was 6-2, right? That extra run, 6-2 is a grand slam, right? That extra run makes it 7-2, and then you get the solo home run later. But it was a great at bat. I don't know if you saw it or not, but
No, I did. I think the thing is, Bill, like we as Angel fans, especially the first half. I mean, this team is still, although the last few games we've been averaging about 10 to 11 strikeouts per game as a team, and we're leading the league in strikeouts. The last place teams are possibly catching up because over the last week or so, and it's a little different. And I hate to say this, but since Ron has gone down, Ray's got these guys more patient.
yeah.
And they seem to be, because they were chasing sliders like nobody's business, Neto, Hoppy, and it seems like they're just, and especially Ward, they're trying to, like you said, and I'm glad you brought that up, just letting the pitcher come to them.
Yeah.
Work off of what the pitcher's giving you.
Yeah.
Whereas they were just, before they had the mindset of, launch angle, we gotta hit it deep.
There's 2 things that drive me. Actually, there's 3 things that drive me nuts in baseball, and I don't care if it's the Angels or any team. The first one that drives me nuts is expansion of strike zone. The second one is making mental mistakes. The team that's going to win your division, and I don't care that Houston's in the lead right now, is the team that these last 80, 81 games make the least amount of mental mistakes. It's not April anymore. It's not May anymore. Listen, it's hot. The ball's going to slip out of your hand. Physical mistakes are going to happen. It's the runner on second when you're up by a run, that your ground ball to right field or whatever, and you throw through, you miss the cutoff man, you airmail it, and the batter ends up at second, and you don't get the runner at second. So you end up letting the guy get into scoring position that whole play.
Good point.
It's idiotic things like that they taught you when you were 6 years old not to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or to do fundamental baseball. So it's the mental mistakes and I don't see you guys making a lot of those, but I do see you guys expanded strike zone. So I'm glad to see that you guys are doing that, which is great. But again, I'm sitting here talking to you. I'm not taking the at bats. So what do I know?
No, but it's good, like over Monday morning quarterback stuff, because again, that's the kind of stuff that wins you the games. It's the little things. And again, this is coming from a team that like led the league in strikeouts, had the least amount of stolen bases, and would not do the first to third type things like old social ball.
Mm-hmm.
Now it seems like they're changing it up a little bit. I mean, for the first time this season, the other night I saw a double steal.
Yep.
So I mean, that's routine for you guys, but we haven't utilized our players the way they're supposed to be.
So I literally was sitting in the stands in Philadelphia 2 Mondays ago, and it was a tight game. Philadelphia, I think, was playing the Guardians. It was a tight game, and you're in the top of the 10th now. And I looked at, and they had scored. They were down a run. So I literally looked at a buddy of mine, and I said, "You guys got it. Like, why didn't you guys bunt?" And he goes, "Oh, we didn't never bunt." The first batter came up and actually bunted and got a base hit. The next batter, because they had a little bit of shift on, the next batter came. So now you have first and third. Next batter comes up, punts it past the pitcher to the third baseman. Guy scores. Now you got first and second. And then the next batter comes up and walks, and now all the pressure's on the pitcher.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Right? But they used the small ball. Said Sosha, I know towards the end everybody was ready to run him out of town, but he played old school, get him on, get him over, get him in.
Yeah.
It wasn't about the 5-run home run. Nowadays, that's what if you can't get that, if you can't come up and your launch angle is this, and you didn't have an exit velocity of 2 million miles an hour, nobody cares.
Yeah, and that's the stat thing, because we were talking about the other night, we were dinked and dunked by Washington on 25 to 40 mile per hour hits. That I've always said, if it reaches the green, that's all that matters. And I think with Sosha, that's the reason why he still does not have a job to this day. He would not embrace the analytics. I think you have to a certain point, 40 to 50%. I think if you can control it that way, take the information from the higher ups and be like, okay, I'm still either going to go with my gut or I'm going to trust your word. But I think it has to be a give and take. Most of these teams, though, like I think the Angels are the take type, where the coach or the manager is more like a pawn than the actual guy who's in control.
You mentioned the Dodgers several years ago when Dave Roberts was hired on.
Yeah.
I had a friend of mine who was good friends with Dave, and I asked him a couple questions of stuff that happened, and he laughed. He goes, "Bill, do you really think that he's calling the shots?" He had just talked to Dave, and Dave was getting stuff in the front office. Well, once Dave started having some winning, they backed off on him, right? And the Angels are kind of that way. They don't trust their on-field managers as much as they could.
Correct.
And then maybe, and I'm not gonna give management a hard time. I actually very much like your general manager. I've had your general manager's dad on my podcast several times. It might be ownership.
Yeah.
Might be ownership.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. Let me just get into the rest of the players real quick.
Yeah.
As far as Sorka did pretty good for the Nationals. 6 innings pitched, quality start, 5 strikeouts, only 1 walk, 1 run allowed, only 2 hits. So it was a bullpen for them. And the Angels, Hendricks, like you mentioned, 5 innings pitched, 1 run, 5 hits. Didn't blow you away with any of his stuff. Fermin did a shutdown inning. Zephyr John would get the win in relief, although he allowed a run. Detmers got the hold, and then Bachman got a hold as well. Only threw 8 pitches in that 9th inning.
You like Detmers in the bullpen, or do you want to back start it?
I do love it. And then one of the hot takes that me and Vince did on our show, or on his show, I came on and said, I don't care if the Angels are up 10 games in the standings. We're trading Jansen to try to get like a 4th outfielder or any kind of depth to the team.
Yeah.
And you try to just flip them like the Yankees did or the Pirates did Aroldis Chapman a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Same type of deal. And what you do is you ride the hot hand.
Yeah.
And you got Bachman, you got Detmers. You could intertwine them depending on the situation, 8th, 9th. And then you got Stevenson when he finally comes off the IL too. So you got, back into the bullpen's probably your strength right now.
Yeah.
So,
Zach Neto's your strength.
Well, yeah.
Zach Neto. Will it shock you to know that in my TFR Fantasy League, which next year we need to get you in, I have both Neto and O'Hoppe.
Wow. Okay.
Now, don't get me wrong. I also have Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman, but
that's fine. Yeah. We all have our favorites. That's how I do fantasy too. Like for real, when in football, I would always pick Russell Wilson when he was at his prime with Seahawks. Everyone's like picking other guys. I'm like, give me Wilson.
Give me Wilson. I'm fine.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the player of the game real quick. The Golden Stamos, then we'll do the Nacho Night, and then we'll get into your comments. So here's. The Golden Stamos for best player on the field, and this is a shocker to me. And this is definitely a first for Halos in the infield. Who is this player of the game tonight?
Jerry Seinfeld. Oh, wait. It's Newman. You got to be Kevin Newman.
Newman. How about that? 2 hits tonight, Bill.
Yeah.
And he has 3 RBIs, a big home run, of course. And his average is over 200.
100%. There you go.
Yeah.
That's a win-win.
He gets the Golden Stamos. Now, who gets Nacho Night?
For the worst performance of the night. Congratulations. You played yourself.
Moldy cheese, stale chips, what a sight. All your dreams gone tonight. Had a bad night, lost the fight. No more crunch, just take a bite. It's the Nacho Night Award.
So the Nacho Night Award, as Bill likes that little the farting noise at the end. We're gonna have a helmet nachos for 2 players. They get to share out of the bucket of nachos.
Boom.
And that is Brzezicki, I think how you say it. He didn't record it out. He allowed 3 runs, 3 hits. And then Salazar went 2/3 of an inning, 3 runs, 3 hits, including the home run to Newman.
Hey, just recording it out isn't showing off. So, he didn't want to show off tonight, apparently.
I guess not. So those are your awards for tonight. Angels win. Back to 500. Now we look for a Sunday fun day for the Angels to get their first win. Now, I'm not going to be able to pop those up, but you're going to see the recent ones on the screen. It's a little hard with a touch screen to pop those up, so we're just going to read through them as we go. Boo Boo Bear's mama said Stukas and Honk It. She sends a super sticker. Really appreciate that. It's Spritz O'Clock. Oh, Patrick Carrillo's calling for that. We might as well play that. Again, I have limited stuff here tonight because it's a little harder than working off the desktop. So it's Spritz o'clock. Artie Moreno, baby. Have that botanical spritz, and we'll get into more comments after this.
Spritz o'clock, angels play. Win or lose, we toast today. Sip and cheer, no matter score. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some more. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some more. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some more.
Yeah. Matty Matt says, can we ever get over 500? Let's go Halos. Jim Hoyt says, sorry, missed you tonight. Miss you too, buddy. Dang it, Patrick beat me right there. Yeah, J-Dog says. Also, thank you, Boo Wears Mommy, for the contribution tonight. Kevin Newman actually doing something. And how many Deos tonight? I think we had, I think it was 12. So not too many tonight. Newman wanted a taste of that yummy the nut tonight. That's a we'll save that comment. It's an inside joke right there. Also, Jesus says, nice of the offense to wake up. We're so back. Did they wake up tonight, or is this just the Nationals?
A little bit of both, right? I mean, you just have to. I joke, and you may agree with me on this. For a while, the Angels had either pitched really well and they can't hit, or they hit really well and they can't pitch. Tonight was a little bit of both. They were able to pitch and hit.
Yeah.
And let's not sleep. I mean, you've had some good pitching last 7 or 8 games. I mean, you've seen some decent pitching, so that's good.
And so, from an outsider, too, asking you, Bill, here, before we get back into the comments, you've seen a lot of the pitching this year. We're the only team in the league not to remove a starter or have a spot starter. So these are the same 5 from the opening day roster. Kwanowitz has been up and down. Hendricks has been up and down. But like you said, you've had really good starts from Kikuchi, Soriano, although he didn't pitch good last night, and then Anderson as well.
Right.
You think for so far this season they're pitching over their heads in a way?
No. Anderson is good. Anderson struggled in Colorado, but everybody struggled in Colorado. That's where pitchers' careers go to die.
Pretty much.
Right. He did great when he pitched for the Dodgers for the season. He got a contract from you guys. He's actually a really good pitcher. Gucci is a really good pitcher as well. As you saw the other day, what do you have? 12 strikeouts. I sent him on my fantasy video.
Yeah.
He got 12 strikeouts. So those two pitchers are really good. Soriano is going to be really good as well. He just had a bad start.
And I'll tell you this about Kikuchi, man, and I didn't mention this on the other night's show, but his changeup, when he wants to throw it on the outside corner against a right-handed batter, that sucker dives. I mean, it loses miles per hour as it gets to the plate, and they're flailing at it, dude. So when he's on and he's able to pinpoint the pitches to set that one up, man, I think 6 of his 12 were on that changeup.
Yeah. So when he got traded over to Houston, I was talking to a guy that I'm pretty close with, that's an Astro fan, and he was, we got Kikuchi, and I said, it's a rental. You watch. It's a rental. And it turned out to be a rental. It didn't work out for the Astros. It's working out for you guys.
Yeah. He seems, I mean, up until Soriano's last start, it was like them 1 and 2. They were pretty good.
Yeah, love it.
Jesus hating on you for being a Dodger fan. He says, give that guy the clown suit. I mean,
so you guys have to understand something. There's 3 types of Dodger fans, okay? There's 3 types of Dodger fans. I say this to everybody. There's the Dodger fan that has been a Dodger fan since they can remember. That's me. There's been the Dodger fan that has only been a Dodger fan for the last 10 years since the Dodgers have been really, really good. Those people drive me nuts. And then there's the Dodger fan that's just there to fight and get drunk and be stupid. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like and that's what everybody thinks Dodger fans are like. I could give you lineups going back to the 90s when the Dodgers were terrible.
Oh yeah,
so it's kind of like saying that Kansas is only full of ladies with curlers in their hair because that's who they interview when the tornado comes through, right?
Yeah.
No. It's
trailer parks and all
that. Yeah. So there's 3 types of Dodger fans, everybody. So hey, hate on me if you want, but Come to my house. We're gonna have October baseball.
Well, see, you're not gonna win him over like that. But I was right there with you to do that. But see, that's the cool thing. I mean, again, you can rap with this guy. He's not a belligerent. Again, our fan base has a few of those too. You know, we do have our
I went
insufferable.
to high school with one of them. She was at a game a couple of days ago that we were at, and she literally posts on her social media all the time. I don't care who wins as long as it's not the Dodgers. And then she's very descriptive. Put it that way. Come on, it's baseball. There's other worse things.
That's true. Eric or J Dog said there was drunk fans that got kicked out by him. That's the thing. Eric Ward says, "Nice win tonight. See what happens when you wear the clown outfit, Todd. Clowns like Newman hit a home run." I like that.
Good ball.
Yes.
That's not seeing as a good Dodger fan, by the
Oh
way.
wow, Jim, giving it to you right there. But he's a nice guy.
That's okay, Jim. I appreciate it. Keep it coming.
Flash says, "You mean the Brooklyn bridegrooms?" Well,
Go.
not last year. I got to give them their shine. I mean, before then, I could say the ring pop of 2020, but yeah, you guys got one legit last year. That's for sure.
Todd, I got to tell you, I have probably been to at least 1,500 games in my life.
Okay.
And the majority of them have been in the stadium. I grew up here in California, and I used to, back when I was in high school and I played baseball, if we won, we didn't have, oftentimes we wouldn't have practice on Wednesdays, and those were getaway days. So we used to come to the stadium and buy a ticket and sit up for $1 up in the nosebleeds and work our way down after school. So it was great.
I had to show you a video too. How long do you got, by the way? I mean,
however long you need.
Okay, cool. We'll probably go about an hour. We're 30 minutes in.
That's fine.
I have a video that I'm going to make up. I didn't finish it today, but it's actually a home video from 1995, Autograph Day of Anaheim Stadium, all enclosed in.
Yeah.
So
I was trying to explain to somebody the other day that the press box, because the press box is so goofy where it's at now.
Yeah.
But how they used to have that big white press box
over
on the
left field side.
On the left field side. And I was trying to explain that Angel Stadium has been 3 different stadiums. It's been open with the big A in the back.
Mm-hmm.
It's been closed when the Rams were there,
and then reopened.
And reopening. Yeah.
Well, when maybe I'll tag you on there on the video because it shows the entire stadium 1995. It's a year after the big earthquake.
Yep.
So you remember the big A that was the Marlboro sign, the scoreboard? Yeah, that one had fallen. They had just fixed the seats and put in a brand new video board. Okay. Because before they just had like the black and white video board, they put in an actual video board. So everyone's like, "Oh my god, that's great!"
Yeah. So, no, I love Anaheim Stadium. The only place I haven't been in Anaheim Stadium is the clubhouse.
Oh, okay.
I have been promised that I will have lunch in there at some point with somebody. So we'll keep that off air.
Okay.
We'll keep that off air.
Rally Chris follows up right here, 32-12 when scoring 4 runs plus. Yes. Ambush says, "Get ready to be scared of the 500 tomorrow." So he's calling a loss tomorrow, and no excuses not to get the win tomorrow. Eric Ward says. So a lot of people are see like Tamir 20 can we get over. And
then, Dave Parker.
Yes.
Yeah, you need to mention that.
So we were in the stadium.
Uh-huh.
And right before the national anthem, they actually did a really classy thing, which was to show a tribute of Dave Parker.
Yes.
And I don't know if they put it on television when you were watching, but man, I can understand the Pete Rose thing. You know why? I mean, they were going to wait till he passed away. But in your mind, as a longtime baseball fan, watching all the teams, and I'm sure you watch a little bit of Dave Parker. My dad told me about Dave Parker. Why did it take so long for him to get in your opinion?
Because he pissed a lot of people off.
Think so?
Yeah. I'm absolutely confident of it. Dave Parker was part of that We Are Family Pirates, which was known for some of those pirates. They had to tell him, "Hey, that's chalk lines. That's not what you think. They're chalk." Right. And so that was issue 1. And then when he finally, towards the end of his career, when he was playing for Oakland, he won a World Series in Oakland in '89. He's playing with Oakland. He was not a press favorite. Like, he just wanted to come in, do his job.
Okay.
And so where Ricky Henderson would tell you, Ricky would talk to the fans. Ricky will talk to using the third person to refer
Absolutely.
Himself. But yeah, that's why. And Dave Parker, I don't know, did you see the thing that the MLB did, the special called Cobra, on him about a year ago at air?
No, I didn't.
Okay, go find it. It's really, really good. But you can see he was at the end of his life. You can see this is a big, burly guy that was hitting home runs. and he was a shell of a person, and his body was just wearing down.
That's sad too, because I know he did something with the Pirates last year. I don't know if it was the first pitch or just a reunion of the We Are family. And it just reminds me a lot of what happened to Don Baylor. They just went like that real fast,
real quick. Yeah.
And but hell of a player. I didn't know him
Great
personally
player.
and stuff like that, but it's sad that even though he did piss off a lot of people, guys like him should have got in a long time ago. But the writers, dude, they dictate that whole thing, man.
There's guys like Steve Garvey that should be in. There's guys like Dale Murphy, Don Mattingly that should be in.
Yeah.
And everybody's talking about, Buster Posey's first ballot. Go look up. I challenge anybody on here, and you included, go look up the stats between Buster Posey and Thurman Munson. If you're going to let Posey in, you've got to let Munson in.
Correct.
And I don't. Yeah.
And there's players too, like John Olerud should be in because they let Fred McGriff in, and McGriff Crime Dog took forever to get in too.
Yeah.
So
I can make an argument that some of the 80s Angels and 90s Angels deserve at least some
consideration.
But it's, again, some of these numbers, when we look at them, a career best used to be hitting 260. Now, if you're hitting 260, you're not playing, right?
Well, see, one thing that makes me feel good as an Angel fan is possibly getting Frankie Rodriguez in the next 3 to 4 years.
Let's hope.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
Because you got Bobby Wagner made it, right? Billy Wagner. I'm sorry. Billy Wagner made it into the Hall of Fame as a closer because before Lee Arthur Smith, they were like, closers, that's a niche thing.
Yeah.
But he got in. A few other closers got in. Obviously, Mariano Rivera. But for a really good while, Frankie Rodriguez was damn near unhittable.
Yeah, he had a few off-field incidents.
Correct.
That are going to may slow that up a bit.
Okay.
But once you have one player that has an off-field incident that gets through and breaks that ceiling, so to speak, then the flood of them. And so the fact that Pete Rose can be in this year or be
Let's see, with that, I know we're getting off topic, but I have to just bring this up too, since you watch all the teams as well. Pete Rose getting in, that was a big FU because, it was more like, hey, man, you're not getting in until you die. I don't agree with Shoeless Joe Jackson being on the ballot. I mean, he literally, because he actually threw a World Series.
But he didn't. He had the best numbers in that World Series.
But his team threw it, man. I can't go with that. Like Pete Rose is like, okay, it's sort of like if you were, I know things have changed today where you can gamble except on your own sport.
Right.
Pete Rose is gambling to win, although it was, I think his coaching should have been fired, should have been banned.
Yeah,
but as a player, dude, the all-time leading hitter, and he's not in the Hall of Fame.
So I'm going to make a weird correlation here. Okay. I'm going to make a weird correlation. So Shoeless Joe did the best that he could during that World Series. He wanted nothing. I've never talked to Shoeless Joe. Obviously, he was long gone before you and I got here. But he never got – I don't think he ever threw anything. Now, take A.J. Hinch, for example. A.J. Hinch came out publicly and said, I knew about it. I just didn't want to participate in it. And he would get very frustrated with the whole fastball with the Astros. And he got his name cleared and is now managing in Detroit and things like that. But Shoeless Joe didn't get the mercy that AJ is getting.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
And so that's the only reason. I get what you're saying, but that's the only reason I'm making
Yeah.
There wasn't mercy. It was all justice.
It is very debatable. Obviously, both of them are not around no more.
Right.
So it's going to come down to whatever happens.
Yeah.
Tony C says the Angels should get Sorka from the Nationals. He would be a nice pickup. What do you think? The Angels should send Ohapi down. No, they're not going to send him down. That's for sure. He does say smash the like button, but
I will tell you this right now. The guys and gals in Philly are, like I said, they were pissed off. They said, you guys got to capture that. I mean, in that trade, because they got Duck Dynasty, right? And
yeah.
You guys got Hogan Ohapi, and they are ticked off about it.
Yeah, I mean, but then again, they got Brandon Marsh, and he's
Duck
still.
Dynasty.
Yeah, I mean, still. Anthony Henson says, give me a Dave, the Cobra Parker a nod. Dude was a beast. Elected to the Hall of Fame in December. His induction is next month. Rest in peace. Pirate right there. Jake Paul fighting tonight. That is a bum fight. Ohapi isn't going down. No need to. He just needs to work on his catching, defensive skills. Unfortunately, he's sitting on his ass several times a week now, which takes valuable time away. And that's the problem we're having, Bill. Mike Trout is clogging that DH spot up, dude.
Okay, but yes. I love the Travis d'Arnaud side.
I do too.
Okay, it did, and I don't know what's going on with Logan right now. But if you notice at the beginning of the season, Logan was doing amazing. It was because he realized that there was a guy behind him that could take his job.
Correct.
Last year, he didn't have that. It was just kind of like, hey, I can do whatever I want to do.
Pretty much.
Now he's got a guy that can take his job.
Yep.
Well, now what do we do? But now he's slowing down. So, yeah, Trout is – I feel the same. I know Angel fans are going to hate me, but I feel the same way about Shohei Ohtani. If when Mookie went down and had a thumb injury, we can't have him DH and sit Shohei. If Freddie goes down, we can't have – when he had the ankle injury, we could have sit Shohei and have Freddie DH. And so you're right. Him plugging the DH spot up, like it's a little tricky.
It does. So if an injury happens to Freeman or him, Betts, yeah. But luckily you guys have guys, which it's funny with that guy because he should have been in that trade with Toronto.
Andy Paez?
Yeah, Paez, yeah. He was just like a throw-in, and he's like the best guy from that trade.
He'd be great in center field for you guys.
Oh, absolutely. Shoot, get rid of Ward. I'd love to play him left field. Jim says, would love to hear from the gang here. Who do you think gets traded at the deadline this year? Seriously.
Can I make a very, very, very probably unpopular comment here?
Let's hear it.
If the Angels end up going backwards this season, which I don't see it happening, but if the Angels end up going backwards, and let's say they're under 500, you may see guys looking to be moved. And when I'm talking about guys looking to be moved, we're talking Taylor Ward. You might even be talking Zach Neto, right?
Oh, I don't know about that.
Well, is he gonna be like Trout and want to spend his entire career in a place where he's gonna want something, right?
Well, he's due for one of those young extensions, sort of like what the Atlanta Braves did with their kids. So
if I were the Angels, I would do
that. Oh yeah,
right
I would
now.
lock him up. And I was on the books of saying, yeah, I think Ohapi needs one too. But now I'm like, pause the brakes on that one a little bit. Yeah. He's got to get better. But definitely, I think Zach Neto is in line for that kind of extension.
Yeah.
And because you want that dude to be the shortstop. But I'm with you. I still, like I said, it's not a popular opinion on this post-game show when I come out and I say, hey, Jansen should be traded no matter what our record is, no matter how close we are in the playoffs. I'm thinking Tyler Anderson because I don't see these guys signing back. They're on expiring contract. So I try to flip it to get some prospects to fill the voids on the league's worst minor league system.
Brutal, but yeah. No, I get what you're saying. The only reason I might disagree with that a little bit is because you guys have so many young guys already. You need some veteran leadership besides for Trout.
True.
Right? I mean, look at some of the guys you have. You got your first baseman, for example, right? Young kid, right? Zach Neto, right? You need veteran leadership. You need a guy besides for Trout.
Yeah.
There. And I mean, Anthony Rendon's doing a great job for you guys right now too, right?
He's solid.
Yeah.
I mean, he's continually in Houston.
Yes.
Yeah. So he spends a lot of time in Houston.
I'm sure he does.
How about some props to Simo for another clutch at bat tonight?
Yeah.
Simo.
That kid's good.
Yeah.
He's making it look easy. Now, remember, he's a rookie, and not every team has good books on him yet. So he's going to need to make adjustments towards the end of the season.
Yep. And Frostblade says, although they have their moments, and batting approach seems to be a lot better compared to April and May, they're drawing more walks.
Yeah.
Because, again, we went 1 week, Bill, without registering one walk. And, I mean, we're flailing to a 1 point. I think against Houston we had 18 strikeouts. Out of 27 at bats.
I was at the game on Friday night. We had a suite on Friday night against Houston.
Okay.
And I think you had one inning. Where it was like 8 or 9 pitches and Houston was out of it. That should never happen. And in an era where now imagine being the pitching coach and walking out to Nolan Ryan and saying, "Hey, big fella, looks like you got 92 pitches. I know it's only the 6th, but we need to take you out."
Yeah.
He's gonna knock you out.
Absolutely, right? Yeah. He's going to fight you.
In an era where we celebrate, which just drives me crazy, pitch counts, why not? Why it drives me nuts. Shohei swings at the first pitch in the first at bat of the game, and if he doesn't remember, a Hall of Famer is 3 times out of 10. So the other 7 times, we're 1 out into it on 1 pitch.
Yeah,
and it drives me crazy. Zach doesn't do that, but it drives me crazy. You guys take more pitches.
You're welcome, because he learned that from us.
Yeah.
The Angels' grandma is going to be there tomorrow. She's a super fan. You ever meet her?
I have not, but we actually follow her, and my wife Amber has communicated with her a little bit, I believe. Yeah.
Okay.
You're great. I've seen your page. You're fantastic.
She has been a fan of our show for a while now.
Yeah.
And I remember meeting her late husband, passed away a couple of years ago. Mm-hmm. God rest his soul. He was a great man as well. He was a big time Dodger fan. And it was funny because I'm like, how did you guys hook up? The whole Dodger Angel thing. But they were a sweet couple, and she has a lot of grandkids that she brings to the game. So, yeah, she's an awesome fan.
I look forward to meeting you sometime at a game. We'll be at a game. I know July 25th we'll be there, but I'm not sure how many more games. I'm slightly thinking we might end up in San Francisco in a week and down in Petco. So I'm hoping to not have to travel much, but I know we'll be at the stadium.
Well, let me ask you this quick question since you mentioned stadiums real quick. Bias aside, best ballpark in California out of the 5. Well, now
okay. I'm not going to say Dodger Stadium. My favorite ballpark is Angel Stadium.
Really?
My outside of Dodger Stadium, obviously, it would be Angel Stadium. Petco's the most. There's more interaction. There's more stuff to do.
Yeah.
But my favorite ballpark is Anaheim Stadium. It's so traditional. I don't need all the craziness of it. And I've been to Anaheim Stadium at least 500 times.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this right now. I love the Angels. Everybody knows that. But it's going to throw people off right here. My number 1 stadium in California is San Diego. A close second, but it's different due to day games and night games. I prefer going there in a day. Is San Francisco. Night games are just too damn cold. But I would have to say a close third is Dodger Stadium. Yeah. I love the remodel, what they've done, the different perches, the food quality is great there. The atmosphere has changed. It's not your Raider Nation anymore. So I know the prices have gone up, but it's still a very nice venue to watch a ball game.
Great. Now, if you would have asked me what my favorite ballpark is outside of Dodger Stadium to visit, I'm going to give you, I'll say Angel Stadium, but I'm going to give you 2 others. You have to go to Citizens Bank Ballpark in Philadelphia.
Okay, haven't been there yet.
That's amazing. And if you're going to go there, let us know ahead of time. We got a lot of friends up there. They'll take care of you if you're traveling because your team's there. Philadelphia is not. I know they booed Santa Claus. I get it, whatever. But don't worry about that. And then City Field in New York, the Mets, is absolutely phenomenal. So how the Angels have that big scoreboard in right field. They have one in center field next to the big apple that comes up to the home run. The flip side of that is actually another jumbotron that they air the game on, and there's kind of a standing area where parents can stand, and behind there is where the kids can do stuff. So the parents can literally be watching the game, and behind there the kids are playing stuff.
That's cool.
It's amazing the way that they did it, and they respect the history.
That's cool. It's sort of like San Diego in a way. It kind of sounds like San Diego a little bit in the center field, but I definitely said City Field is on my list to go to.
Let me know when you're going there too.
All right, sounds good.
We'll have to do a little TFR hitty trip, right?
Yeah, on the road for sure.
Yeah.
Tony C is wanting more and more and more. Don't care what happened tonight. We got to win the series tomorrow. Unfortunately, Newman's contract will keep him here unless we package him in a trade. What's up, everybody? Right there. Also, Trash Halo says, why didn't the Angels keep Eric Wagaman? He's having a great season for the Marlins and playing third base and better than Newman. They probably have 500. They probably in over 500 emails why they kept him. Or he shot him with 500 emails. Dude, that's another guy. Wagaman was on a roster last year, and I know hardcore fans remember him in August and September when the team was utterly trash. But he was the only dude hitting. Man.
Yeah, it's sometimes those things are weird, right? And baseball's a strange game. We just talked about Logan O'Hoppe, right? Logan O'Hoppe was hitting 314 through the first month and a half of the season, and then he's just falling apart. Jim's comment's funny.
Oh, but we will trade our GM for the rights to Yasiel Puig.
You could have Yasiel Puig and Fungo Bats and batting practice.
There you go.
But
Mo says, why do we keep Zephyr John in close games? He always gives up a run. I don't know. There's certain players right there, and then see Patrick Carrillo again. He's like me. I'm on that side too. Guy's not batting 200. I know he's got a ton of home runs and whatnot, but I don't see the value in him. To be honest with you.
So I thought there was value in him, and then I looked him up on Baseball Reference and found out how old he was.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you. They package him up in something where you can get something a little younger. I mean, Taylor's 30 or 1 or 30, something like that.
I think he's 32 or 33, something like that. Yeah.
So he's on the twilight side of that career. So
he gives you nothing defensively. To me, I think he's our worst outfielder, and that's with Soler being out there. So yeah.
By the way, I like you guys picking up Soler as well.
I did too, but
offensively, defensively, not so much.
Yeah, his right now the way he's been, before his injury, he's been dealing with that injury. He was striking on everything too. So let's see. Also, fingers crossed. Are they actually going to get it done tomorrow? You think they can get it done tomorrow over 500?
Yes.
There you go. Loved hearing the boos directed at the clown. I had a good laugh tonight. Yeah, I got a little bit of boos right there. Joshua says, "Oh no, what happened?" I think that's this one. I could play this one. This pops up here because that's the thing with a touchscreen. It's not really working as good as I thought it would. See?
We're on location.
Yeah,
right?
there you go.
So.
We'll just get back to the comments. I'll have to play those tomorrow for sure. Let me go back up here as we'll try to catch up. Awesome bounce back game. See, you guys are alive in 95. Yes, we were, Robert. Also, tonight's show is a testament to Todd and how cool he is bringing the Dodger fan to talk baseball. That's what it's all about, coming together in the love of a great game. There you go.
Yeah.
And again, if you guys don't know, Bill from Top Fan Rivalry, he's one of the guys that's going to be helping us set up that softball tournament together. Having a good time. We had a great time last time.
Yeah.
With pizza and everything else like that. So we're looking to have a lot more players this time, dude.
It was funny because you didn't believe me when I said we need to go down to Laguna Hills, and then you saw the field and you're like, yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
So the problem is they have all these leagues until the first part of August, so we don't have access to the field.
And it's a beautiful stadium we played at last year. And again, it's funny because when we showed some of the video, everyone's like, "Oh man, you should have let us know." I was like, "Bro, I was broadcasting it the whole time. And we could have had a lot more heads there." So
somebody recently, because we do a fan fest every year in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Somebody recently said, "Let's go to Vegas," and this is the second year we've done it, and it's everywhere. How did they miss it? So don't feel bad.
Yeah. It just happens sometimes. Like people are always after the fact. K-Rod, John Lackey should get some Hall of Fame, consideration. I don't know about John Lackey as much. Percival, maybe. But K-Rod's numbers outdid his.
Percival should be in my opinion. If you're gonna let guys with saves in,
he did dominate. Yeah. Also, LV says, "Todd, my check will clear tomorrow." That's a reference to Ron Washington because he's like, you could take that to the bank. He's been calling the win over the series.
But by the way, everybody. Tuesday is Bobby Bonilla Day, so just don't forget that.
Oh, yeah.
At least you don't have to deal with that. That's good.
True. Anthony Henson, my boy, says, "Bro, you guys are all over the place. Wrap it up and head to showers. Go be with the family. Good show and good night. Go Halos." So he's had enough right there. Also, Nolan Arenado trade for the Angels. That was on the books what I was talking about earlier. We'd have to eat that contract, but now with the Cardinals being back in it, not likely.
Well, Nolan's from here, so yeah, I would think that it would. The only issue that you have is you can't have Rendon's contract and Nolan's contract on the payroll and Trout's contract.
True. It's true. Patrick says Anaheim Stadium originally was a Big A stadium in the middle of the giant orange grove.
Yes, it was.
And word on the street is the best is that he's going to unload him right now, Ward. He only is going to get worse. That's the way to do it. I was sitting in 108 as the heckler was nonstop. LOL. Always great atmosphere.
Yeah.
So Angel fans can bring it at times, and I try to tell the younger fans because a lot of kids were there tonight. Like, between 2002 in 2010,
Mhm.
it was really hard to get a ticket. Angel Stadium. That place was on a Tuesday. It was packed, and it was just a great playoff atmosphere every night. I miss those days, man. I mean, a lot of fans were like, "Damn it, Social's the problem." It's like, no, it wasn't. It wasn't.
So it's funny because they were advertising all over TV today. Get a ticket at Anaheim Stadium for as low as $11. A friend of ours just opened a checking account at her credit union for one of her grandkids, and she got 2 free tickets.
Yeah,
It's like, wow, you're giving them out to just start bank accounts now. Awesome.
I'm telling you, when we
That's how
wore
it's going.
those periwinkle jerseys,
Yeah.
the Pepsi cans, that was
Yeah.
one of the things where it's like you bring a Pepsi can in, you can get a free ticket. So you buy a ticket and get one for free with a Pepsi can. So as long as they had the Angel logo. So that being said, we're caught up mostly on our comments here tonight.
Yep.
We appreciate everybody that's on tonight. Again, it's a little different show. We usually play other sound and other stuff like that, but we didn't get into it because, again, I'm using a touchscreen laptop. It's a little harder to do that. The computer is much easier. We're using our mics here too, the Rode mics, the interview mics.
Yep.
And Bill, I really appreciate you coming
Thank
on
you.
because, again, you do a lot for the baseball community. You've been working with. I've seen you do shows with Bourbon and baseball.
Mhm.
It's like the Astros. Plus, it's a Dodger talk too, and they do around the league kind of stuff. It's really cool. I mean, if you want to get in on the know of several of the teams, he's your man. He brings on different guys from different teams, different women from different teams, just fans in general, and it's a really good vibe. So if you haven't subscribed over at Instagram on Top Fan Rivalry, I implore you to do so. It's pretty cool. Anthony Henson's the man, by the way. Shout out to you. And it's just another Halo victory page on Facebook. Love that dude. He's been doing, and I've known him since I want to say 2009 or 10 when Facebook was at like its peak,
Right.
and they were doing their big Facebook was the tailgates under the Big A.
Yeah.
And it was average like 200, 300 people, man. It was a great atmosphere. So Anthony's been around, long-time fan.
Love it.
Any words to promote or anything that you're promoting right now?
Before we do that, before I do that, because there's one thing that I'm going to tell you guys about. I'm going to play a game with you.
Oh, yeah, let's do that.
I'm going to play a game with you.
Okay.
This is something that we do all the time. I do a morning show Tuesdays and Thursdays on Instagram at 9 a.m. And all of my guests always have to play this at the end. It's called Start One, Bench One, Cut One.
Okay.
So here's the rules. You have to start one, you have to bench one, and you have to cut one.
Got it.
Period. Okay. And you can justify your answer.
Okay.
Okay. Or you can just give me rapid fire.
Okay.
I'm going to go old school Angels on you, and then I'm going to go new school Angels on you.
Let's do it.
2 rounds. Ready? Okay. Rod Carew, Reggie Jackson, Gary Pettis. Start one, bench one, cut one.
Bench Pettis, cut Jackson, start Carew.
Don't like Jackson.
No, not a true fan, dude. He wasn't an all-time Angel. Love me some Pettis, but no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gary Pettis, number 20, man. I remember him diving out for a ball, and I remember, man, this guy's going to be good. I was also at Anaheim Stadium when Griffey Jr. and Griffey Sr. hit a home run.
Oh, the back-to-back, yeah.
Back that night.
Man, that's a magical moment.
All right. This may not make you popular on your show, but we're going to do this one, okay?
All right, let's go.
Start one, bench one, cut one.
Uh-huh.
Okay? Zach Neto, Logan O'Hoppe, Mike Trout.
Damn you, Bill.
I told you, this is the best thing ever.
It was much easier on the other one.
I set you up, didn't I?
Yeah, old school, I have no ties. I'm okay with it. But this one, damn you, Bill.
There you go.
This was going to be tough.
It's going to make you really popular on your show.
Yeah. Oh, this is not going to be good right here. Bench O'Hoppe. Cut Trout.
Whoa.
And I'd start Neto.
Okay.
I mean, look, I love Trout. But, man, oh, man. Current Angels, man.
So one of these times we'll do an Instagram Live, you and I, and maybe what we'll do is we'll do 10 or 12 rounds of that just for fun.
Okay.
That's fun. If you would have asked me that same question, I can't cut a Hall of Famer, so I'm going to start Trout.
Okay.
I'm going to bench Neto, and I'm going to cut O'Hoppe.
Okay.
And not I love Ohapi guys, but it's just
Eric's is brutal.
There you go.
Well, we'll get you on there, Dan. It's just it's a little harder to run this. So we'll play everybody out with Stukas, man. Yeah, Eric knows. My boy knows right there.
Yeah,
so
there you go.
Well, that's
not my soul leave.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's a tough decision for sure.
It is. You asked me a question before, though. Obviously, guys, follow us on Instagram, follow us on X, whatever. But one of the things that we're doing that I feel very, very passionate about. Most of you don't know this, but and it's now public knowledge. But I 3 years ago, I was blessed to go through cancer, and I came out on the backside of it. I came out just fine. It was in the family of pancreatic cancer. I found a group. So this year I decided I wanted to walk the distance between Dodger Stadium and Yankee Stadium, just for fun, which is 2,797.1 miles. I found a group that raises money for cancer patients that have the same type of cancer that I have that can't afford the treatments. They're called Project Purple. So you're going to see a lot of stuff from Top Fan Rivalry about that. All the donations that there's going to be a link on our website. There's going to be all kinds of fun stuff. All the donations go directly to them. We don't keep anything. We're not getting a cut of action. It's just I was fortunate enough to be able to have the funds to be able to do it. Although I'm still paying for it, let me tell you. Not cheap because a lot of people can't. So you asked me what if I was going to promote something. It's a
Well, it's very very noble cause. Absolutely, that could be something that could be an opportunity for others to donate. Obviously. And you know what? If you do that, you gotta get you dressed up like Forrest Gump. You know what I mean?
Your face was like, "You're watching what?"
Yeah, I was like, "Whoa!"
I actually, I'm a slight bit behind. You're not going to believe this. I'm a slight bit behind, but as of yesterday, I think I looked at the number and I had walked 1,124 miles.
Wow.
So far. So oftentimes I'll go to a local mall and I'll walk and I'll get all my work done, put my headphones in, and so yeah. So you can see all about it too. If you go to our site, you can subscribe to our email list for free, and then this Monday there will be an email to go out about it.
Well, I appreciate you sharing the words right there, because I mean, again, that's awesome. Cancer survivors. I mean, also from OC Dugout, Brian.
Yeah.
So
you and I have talked a lot about that.
Yeah. It's amazing, Yeah. So keep up the good work, Bill. I really appreciate you being on.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I'll come back before the end of the season, I promise.
Absolutely. War Master.
Where are we at, by the way?
Oh, we're at Brewheim.
That's right.
Yeah, we're at Brewheim. He enjoyed water. I enjoyed beer.
Yeah.
And
or as they would say in Philly, water.
Yeah.
Or in water. Whatever. Right.
Absolutely. And speaking of War Master, he wants a picture of Olivia Arquette. I say I don't want to go a high schooler like Hernandez, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
And shout out to Anthony. Thank you. Like and subscribe. As he says, Nick House, it was great to meet you tonight. And those ugly Christmas sweaters were awesome. So really appreciate that. And for Todd Fox and Bill from Top Fan Rivalry, we are out of here. We're going to play you out with some Stukas. Angels win, baby. Let's get that win tomorrow at 1 o'clock tomorrow, right?
Yeah, 1:10 or 1:08, whatever.
There you go.
Yeah.
Go Angels.